Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. 'Tis some visitor, tapping at my chamber door. Only this, and nothing more. Ah, distinctly, I remember, it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished tomorrow, vainly I'd sought to borrow from a book's surcease of sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore, nameless here, forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now to still the beating of my heart I stood repeating, 'tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This is it, and nothing more. Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer, sir or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door, darkness there, and nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, Lenore. This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, Lenore. Merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard a tapping somewhat louder than before. Surely, surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what the red is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more. Open here I flung the shutter, when with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped the stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or steady, but with mien of lord or lady, perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of palace just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore. Those I pressed me shorn and shaven, thou I said art sure no craven, ghastly grim and ancient raven wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the nice Plutonian shore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Much I marvel this ungainly vow to hear the score so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy for. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon a sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such name as nevermore. But the raven sitting lonely on the placid bust spoke only that one word, as if the soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing further than he uttered, not a feather, then he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before, on the morrow he will leave me as my hopes have flown before. Then the bird said, nevermore. Startled at the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken, doubtless what it utters is its only stock in store. Caught from some unhappy master whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster, tell his songs when burden bore, tell the dirges of his hope that melancholy burden bore, of nevermore. But the raven still beguiling all my fancy into smiling. Straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door, and then upon the velvet sinking I betook myself to linking fancy on the fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim ungainly ghastly gaunt and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking nevermore. This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This some more sat divining, with my head at ease reclining on the cushion's velvet lining that the lent like gloated o'er, but whose velvet violet lining with the lent like gloating o'er, she shall press nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer, swung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch, that God had sent thee, by these angels he had sent thee, respite, and nepenthe from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff this kind of nepenthe, and forget this lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, thing of evil, prophet, still a bird or devil, whether tempter sent or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore. That's the Lydia all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home my horror haunted. Tell me truly I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, thing of evil, prophet, still a bird or devil, by the heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore. Tell the soul with sorrow laden, if within the distant Aden, it shall class the sainted maiden, whom the angels name Lenore, class the rare and radiant maiden, whom the angels name Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that word or sign I'm carding, bird or fiend, I streak the starting. Get thee back into the tempest and the night's plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie that soul has spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken, quit the bust above my door. Take that beat from out my heart and take that form from off my door. Quote the raven, nevermore. And the raven never flitting, still is sitting on the pallet, bust the palace just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming throws his shadow on the floor. And my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore.
I think that sounded good.
Ball game.
Yeah.
C'était